It's your girl Bree at Divine Emerald Heart. Sorry that I've been away for a few days because I had some house repairs to take care of, especially with the plumbing. If you've ever had a problem with that, you know that you can't procrastinate on that. And anyways, yeah, that was embarrassing to say, but that's the truth. Um and happy belated 88 or Lionsgate portal that happened on August 8th. I'm gonna try to make this quick because it's a little bit of a rant, but hear me out, please. Okay. What's so important here about the Lionsgate portal is that, see, in astrology, it's when the Earth, the Sun in Leo, and the star Sirius are all in perfect alignment. So it's a very powerful day, full of energy, personal growth, and for setting goals. So, with that being said, I hope you guys took the opportunity to manifest the things that you want out of life from, here on out. If you had to, shit, I still think that there's time to write them down and maybe, light a white candle to it to give it some extra oomph. And I say extra oomph because it's not the 8th anymore, it is now the 13th. But shit happens. Let's see here. Talking about house problems. Sorry, guys. I know, rude for yawning. Just a little tired. The house problems, I said, it's always something. And I'm willing to bet that the coven had some part to do in it. Okay? And shit, here's a little quick fact. Alright, about people involved in the dark arts. This is a fact. You can look it up in a lot of different YouTube documentaries or in books that are about this. So a lot of people that are involved in the dark arts, demonologists have reported that most victims complain about having house repairs, like water pipes bursting. You have plumbing issues, problems with electrical wires, which can lead to house fires. And technology is constantly on and off working, on and off working. Okay? Well, okay. That's because all those repairs are costly. And remember how I said that when it comes to death magic, the first two things that you lose is your love life and your money. Well, these repairs are costly, and if they keep on happening, then it's going to cause a financial strain on the person it's happening to. And usually that person doesn't want to give up on the house just yet, and so they'll go find a priest or some other spiritualist to try and help them get rid of the evil. But unfortunately, that's not enough horsepower to do it. And eventually they may just have to move altogether. That's just some quick little knowledge there. But when these people go looking for a priest or a spiritualist, that's because the spiritual attacks start becoming much more dangerous. Okay? Much worse and much more dangerous. And that's it. Anyways, moving on. Wow, 5:35 on the timer. Paying attention to all the synchronicities, yo. Especially a lot of ones. 111, 333, a lot of 555, which talks about change. There's a lot of people getting arrested right now. That's what I'm sensing, okay? Without my cards even being here. Oh, okay. Now, see, however, with my spiritual attacks, they started way before any house repairs have had to be done. And there's been several house repairs that have had to be done besides just the plumbing. Then I'll give one more example. Filters from air conditioning. That's it. I'm going to leave it at that. But like I've mentioned before in other recordings, this November makes it 11 years now that I've been attacked. And I know that for other people out there, they've been attacked anywhere between 12 to 14 years. And let me tell you, this coven has sent some serious death magic my way because they want to take me off this planet so they can sacrifice me and others to the devil so that they can get what they want. Because here's the thing, like I've mentioned before, the divine feminines, you guys are not the only ones that are being attacked. The masculines are as well. It's just in a much more subtle way. But other than the collective population, the coven is attacking other people too. Other people that have been rats per se, telling too much information, to the wrong people, and that's gonna make them get arrested. And I'm a whistleblower. All of us tarot readers are whistleblowers. That's why they hate us. But, and there's many, many covens all around the world that are doing the same shit to other people. We just so happened to be getting attacked by people that we thought were friends. And I'll tell you, for me, and for a lot of others out there, this could resonate with you, but the torture of these spells, oh my god, it's been everything from monitoring spirits that are being put, a magnifying glass up your ass. See that right? Or putting you under a fucking microscope and you can feel them following you. And when that happens, rebuke that shit in the mighty name of Jesus Christ and Saint Michael the Archangel. Hold on. My apologies for that. Oh look, it was 9:44 when I put back on the timer. What the hell was I saying? Oh yeah, the monitoring spirits with just watching us like hawks, like a magnifying glass up our asses, like I said, that grind, and or a microscope. And like I said, you gotta rebuke that in the mighty name of Jesus Christ and Saint Michael the Archangel and whatever deity that you worship. Okay? Trickster spirits, which are, I've sensed that they have either been created by the coven and sent to the collective to scare them, okay, to make them paranoid and shit. But once again, rebuke that shit, because the monitoring spirits, how do I explain this? Give me a second. People can act as monitoring spirits, okay, and that's what you call shape shifting, and they can cloak themselves and astral travel to your house or apartment or whatever and follow you, rebuke them out, or if it's an actual spirit, rebuke them out. Trickster spirits, those are spirits that usually just are created to make you think that you're like going crazy. Like, you know, for example, here's my phone. I'll leave the room and maybe the phone is somewhere on the bed. And I'll be like, I swear, even though it's there and I can see that it's there, I swear that I left it over here. It's the same shit with like, where are my keys? I thought I put my keys on the key ring. And you will find them in some random fucking place, like inside the refrigerator or in your shoe. Shit like that. Or it's send shadows or weird, tall, like figures that look kind of alien like and they're silver colored and it's to scare you and make you paranoid. You just rebuke that shit. Rebuke it. Anyways, and I'm also talking about demonic entities. Freaking demonic entities that will. This is so horrible to say, but they'll climb in bed with you and you can feel it. You can just feel the evil and it just smells like rotten eggs or sulfur. And that refers to a passage somewhere in the Bible about that's what evil smells like. Okay, now, do I believe in everything in the Bible? No, I don't, but I do agree with that part of evil smelling like rotten eggs or sulfur, because I have smelled some of those people in the coven and they stunk just like that. They smell just like that. And I'm like, okay, so there's gotta be something to that. Um, this is another thing that sucked. He had, unexplained illnesses that made you bedridden. That was me. That was me, and I mean, vomiting. And it's, food wasn't spoiled, nothing was expired. Wasn't pregnant, nothing like that, never been pregnant. I've been celibate for a very long time, folks. And you had psychic attacks, which it was definitely mental mind illusion spells to just make you confused and a mental fog in your mind and feeling like you're just passing through the day, not paying attention to the hours that are going by. You know, you really do just feel like you're out of a zone. And it's like maybe even looking like a fucking space cadet. And it makes you overthink like a motherfucker, even with the most simple decisions ever. Like, do you want the blue straw or the red colored straw? And you'll sit there and like, I don't know, and fuck it, you don't pick any straw, you just drink whatever. That's it. I know. And then conversations that you have with people or within your own mind, your conversations drift like from one weird topic. Well, not a weird topic, it'll just switch from topic to topic. And it just doesn't make sense. It's not flowing right. And it's the same thing in your mind. You're thinking, how the hell did I get from the topic of bacteria to gemstones? The fuck? And on that person that you're talking to, they may look at you like you're toot. And well, this was one of the ways that the coven wanted to make you think that going crazy and to make other people around you think that you're going crazy so that you could be admitted to a mental ward. That's another thing that they have been dying for. Not only is it for you to never have your sacred reunion, but for you to always be broke, always financially broke, to kill you some way, somehow, or to, it was to put you in a fucking mental ward. Diabolical shit. Ay, Dios míos. And and it was also to make us second guess our intuition a lot too, like crown chakra attacks, third eye attacks. If you do anything like this, affecting your throat, they were trying to close up the masculine's heart chakra. Cause I hate to say it, but most masculines out there haven't had a history of long, meaningful relationships. And they've been through a lot of shit throughout their life where they're very guarded. They've been very guarded. And the coven found out about that and, used that vulnerability against him and tried to close up his heart chakra. But they couldn't close the feminine's heart chakra. No matter what, us feminines have always been very forgiving, and it's like, we forgive these people from a distance and that's enough. Fucking around with the solar chakra, which is up here, because right there, because that's where your creativity comes from, and the karmic masculine is not creative at all. Just knows how to do magic from a book or by memory. And then you have the sacral chakra that they were attacking too, which is down here, like by your ovaries or bladder, shit like that. And that is what gives you the motivation and drive to get shit done. When they were attacking that, all y'all wanted to do was sleep, probably. You had just getting up out of bed to go shower or take out the trash might have felt like Mount Everest of a chore. But 11:44 on the timer. You guys could be seeing that too. And I saw 11:11 twice yesterday. Okay. And obviously you had the love spells, the voodoo, the body magic, beauty magic, slander and defamation of character, etc. And not to mention, they were constantly creating obstacles that made daily life tasks harder to accomplish than what they really had to be. Seriously. Created stupid ass obstacles just to make daily things in life harder to accomplish than what they had to be. Okay. Now, the main reason why I've been attacked is because I left the karmic masculine, which struck up his abandonment issues, and ever since then, it's been a never-ending cycle full of black magic. This cult has also been attacking the divine masculine, okay? And it's, his karmic feminine has been on his ass. It's like, he's mine. You'll never get him back. He's mine. That's not the soul contract. The soul contract is for this sacred reunion to happen. Because the two of you are meant to make a big change that's going to affect humanity in a good way. And you are supposed to have a family later on. You guys are going to have families like in your 40s. I know it's late in life, but fuck it. I mean, my father was 37 when he had me. And he had the energy to keep up with me in his 40s, 50s, 60s. Let's see. Now, here's the big humdinger. The karmic masculine and the karmic feminine, they've been working together to keep the divine masculine stuck in his own mind by doing psychic attacks and mental mind illusion spells on him to make him question everything, to make him constantly confused and scared and paranoid that he's gonna get rejected by you. Okay, for those who still want to get back together, that's what's happening. That is what's making this reunion being delayed even longer. For those of you out there who don't want to get back with your masculine, like I've said before, I'm not a professional spiritualist, but I've talked to other people that have years under their belt. When it comes to soul contracts like this, and if you don't make it work, reincarnation, you're going to be reincarnated again to try to fix it again. Seriously. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be reincarnated and go through all of this shit again. I really don't. Especially with, the shadow work, crap like that. Hmm. So yeah, and that's not just happening to me, that's happening to the rest of the feminines out there too, if that resonates with you. Okay. Now, by this point, y'all are probably wondering, what the fuck does any of this have to do with the price of tea in China with the Lionsgate portal? Trust me, I know, because as I was writing this, I'm like, people are probably thinking, where in the fuck is she going with this? It's well worth it. Hold on. I'm like, that's a great question. Well, seeing as how this Lionsgate portal is all about manifestation, and given how the sun is in Leo, and like I've said before, for whatever reason, this karmic masculine is a Leo or has heavy Leo in his birth chart. And I feel so bad for you good Leos out there, because this karmic masculine is giving everybody else a bad rep. Okay. So yeah, the sun is in Leo. Ugh. And so obviously the coven is taking full advantage of this time to do spell work. If anything, I think they've been going extra hardcore since the first week of August, or since the week before August. I do. Because it's a portal. It's a fucking opening. Okay? And it's got the number 88. Which is not just about manifestation, but I'm pretty sure it has to do with your finances. In numerology, I'm pretty sure that number 8 has to do with finances. So that's just like a straight and narrow right there to attack even more. And if you've experienced any anxiety or heart palpitations or anything like that, those are the projections of the people in the coven, because they're scared shitless, because they know that the law is after them, but they still took advantage of this portal to do everything. Come on, come on, come on, let's do as much bullshit as we can until we can, the end. Jesus. I just thought about it. Whenever I said the word Jesus or Jesus Christ, my karmic masculine would say, he has nothing to do with this. Oh, I think he does. Because the whole collective were divinely protected. Okay, and anyways. And for some reason, I sense that another reason why I've been attacked is due to racism. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I remember in one of my past recordings that I mentioned how the karmic masculine told me that at one point in his life, he considered himself a neo-Nazi. Okay? But I think there's more information to that. Like, I think he comes from a family that has a long history of being involved in the Ku Klux Klan. Warning, sorry guys. Of being in the KKK, and also the Freemasons. Okay? And I've got a feeling that some of the other coven members could also be secretly involved in the KKK as well. I do. Not to mention, considering I'm half Cuban on my mother's side, and I'm Scotch-Irish and German-Jewish on my father's side, it looks like I'm a perfect target. Really. Really. So with that being said, I find this to be hypocritical. Because this coven, it's a melting pot of different races and ethnicities involved. So it's like, are the people who are secretly racist, are they attacking other people? Or is it just because the feminine struck up the karmic masculine's abandonment issues? Me personally, I think it's a combination of both. Because I just know that there's been plenty of the coven members, whether they were Spanish or black or whatever, they attacked each other out of jealousy. Okay? And they were also attacking me at the same time, helping out the karmic masculine. This could resonate with you guys out there, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't. Take what resonates. Now, I'm almost done, don't worry. So now back to the Lionsgate portal. It's all about the number 8, and like I said, it's about finances, infinity, power, and balance. Okay, but when you see the number 88, the energy is twice as strong. Therefore, that's why it's the best time for manifestation and to turn your thoughts around from negative into positive. That being said, let go of negative thoughts and bad habits and anything that you've been scared of in the past. Because I also sense that the divine masculine has broken the curse or has made a breakthrough of the magic that was being done on him to keep him stuck in his own mental prison, to make him scared of rejection, and that's what kept him from coming your way. That's what I think. And here's another one. Now, before I end this novel, I sense that once this sacred reunion happens between the feminine and the masculine, they're just gonna want to cuddle with each other. No sex or anything. They're not gonna want to have the heartfelt conversations right there at that point. It's just gonna be a matter of just hug me and cuddle me. Because you guys are both so fucking tired of all the bullshit. The bullshit lies, bullshit friends, the magic, the betrayal, all of it. You're just gonna want to cuddle. And you're finally gonna feel at home so you can rest and relax. And after that, when you're ready to have the conversation, then you can have the conversation. And like I said, these are gonna be deep, serious. You're gonna you're gonna be able to finally solve the rest of this puzzle because you've put all the other dots together, but you haven't put the last few together, and there's a reason for that. Because the masculine has got to come through, and apologies are going to be made, and he's got confessions. Okay? Now, when it comes to me, my manifestations are I don't want anyone from the coven coming to my house to apologize for what they did or try to explain why they did what they did. I'm saying this because I've already forgiven you all from a distance, and that's good enough. And I know that you're still covered in evil and have demonic entities attached to your ass, and I don't want shit to do with that. Ugh. Okay? And I already know that whatever story or excuses you give me, you're not going to be telling me the whole truth. You're going to be omitting information just so that I'll feel bad for you. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. And not to mention, some of you may come for financial help, a place to stay, to help you get out of some legal trouble, to help save you from bad karma from the black magic you did, or, to not press charges against you, or to try and be my friend again. And the answer to all of that shit is a fuck no. Absolutely fucking not. No. If I just came off as a bitch, I'm sorry, that is not my intention. I'm just drawing the line, putting my foot down. In fact, the only person that I want to see and speak to is my divine masculine, and that's because he's the love of my life. And I want to hear his side of the story, but without anybody else's thoughts or advice or opinions. This conversation will be held between me and him only. Everybody else from the coven needs to leave me and him the fuck alone. Number 2, I want the coven to mind their own damn business, because my future plans are mine only. Have a lovely day.